صارت الضربة الساعة 4 الصبح، يعني لحظات ناطر بس توقع فينا البناية.
هونيك على غبيري على غبيري خالد. قلت لك بدي اعمل مين اللي عم يسالني شو بدي يضرب هون ام لا؟ هون في دخنه.
ماشي فضل مقاوم بكل شيء، الحجر تحت اجرنا، كرامتنا فوق راسنا، بس هيدي هي اسرائيل لزوال، وما في شيء بهزنا وما في شيء بزعزعنا، ضحيتنا على طول قضيه وبدها تضلها قضيه ورسمها.
وين محلك؟
هيدول.
On October 8, 2023, the hardline Shia paramilitary group Hezbollah began launching rockets across the Israel-Lebanon border. These attacks were a show of solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza as Israel and Hamas went to war. The Hezbollah rockets began a cycle of strike-for-strike violence that would last almost a year. In September 2024, Israel ramped up the conflict by remotely detonating pagers and walkie-talkies used by Hezbollah. 37 people were killed and thousands injured in the attack. Some were just children. This was followed by thousands of airstrikes all across Lebanon. Hundreds of civilians were killed, along with some of Hezbollah's most senior officials. On September 27th, Hezbollah's famous leader, Hassan Nasrallah, was assassinated by Israel in the southern suburbs of Beirut. On October 1st, Israel invaded southern Lebanon, their fourth time since 1978. The Israelis met fierce resistance from Hezbollah fighters who had the advantage of a sprawling tunnel system built up over decades. But without any air defense, Hezbollah was completely exposed to Israeli airstrikes. Over the past year, Popular Front has spent several months in Lebanon reporting on the conflict. The majority of Israeli airstrikes took place in parts of Lebanon dominated by Hezbollah and its Shia supporters. But these airstrikes were often indiscriminate and led to widespread civilian casualties. At the time of reporting, over 4,000 Lebanese have been killed by Israeli strikes. In contrast, just over 100 Israelis have been killed by Hezbollah. These figures include both military and civilian deaths. In the village of Majd al-Zoun, just 5 kilometers from the Israeli border, we attended a funeral for a young fighter in the Amal movement, a close Hezbollah ally.
وهذا الشهيد كان عم بيجاهد وكان على الخطوط الأمامية، على خطوط التماس يعني، والله قدر وأخذوا شهيد، يعني ما فيش بعد مرتبة أعظم من هيك. وهلا إذا استشهد الشهيد محمد مصري، في 1000 محمد مصري عم يخلق كل يوم.
الثأر قادم. الشهيد كان كتير منيح، وكان أخلاقه كتير منيحة، وكان منيح مع الكل الضيعة، وما فيش إنه ما يا ريت لو مش بيستشهد هو.
هل أنت خايفة من العدو الإسرائيلي؟
بحاربه بإيدي وبالحجار وكل شيء.
Here in eastern Beirut, the Jaitui hospital is home to Lebanon's only burn treatment facility. It was completely overwhelmed.
That's our smallest baby girl. Last week we did her skin grafting on the face, head and the limbs. Came here, she had third-degree burns of around 40% of total body surface area. But Ivana is so strong. She survived, she's a survivor.
مش جواتها بتخبي وجعها بتشد هيك احلى ما تبكي واحلى ما انه هيك تحدثنا عن الهويه اللي عاوزاها وبلنا نضرب لانه صار الضرب كثير قوي هي وياه عم يلعبوا بعضهم برا وانا واقفه بالمطبخ يعني قبل ما نتروق اشتغل غرا على البرندة بس الصوت اللي خلاني اوصل لهم وشيلهم من النار ودغري كبه من الشباك لانه انا ما عادش في اوضه برا عم يولع الجيب حتى فجر الجيب مع الطارق فجر الجيب برا.
There are some patients who came to us with 95% of total body surface area burn. Such patients, honestly, we cannot do miracles for them, and they passed away.
We traveled east to the Bekaa Valley, a Shia-dominated part of Lebanon near the Syrian border. One of the world's most important archaeological sites is located in the city of Baalbek. These are some of the best preserved Roman ruins on earth. On November 6th, an Israeli airstrike hit just meters away from the ruins, covering the site in dust and rubble. The damage caused to the ruins by the shockwave of the blast is still unknown.
These ruins return back to Roman period. Who was being Roman? Roman was the roots of all Europe. And Europe is the roots of America and Canada and Australia. So here, what's happened, they bombed beside the most important ruins ever in the world. And by what? By American weapons. I can't describe what's happened. It's unbelievable, man. The noise, the vibration, the pressure. From 1 year, we don't have any tourists here. And I am so sad. I am looking how to feed my family. Yeah.
In the middle of the night on November 23rd, Israel launched 4 massive airstrikes at the heart of central Beirut. The strikes leveled an 8-story apartment block and damaged 7 smaller apartments nearby, killing dozens of civilians. 35 identifiable bodies were found in the rubble. 67 people were injured. Dozens of other mangled corpses and body parts were later retrieved by emergency workers.
نحن من شي 3 أيام تقريبا ما عادش ذاكر لأنه ضربة قوية كتير زلزال ونزل علينا. هي صارت الضربة الساعة 4 الصبح. نحن نايمين بأمان الله وأنا وإخواتي 6-7 مع أختي كمان ما بقي بيت وهيدا بيتي هي هون شفت هو الشبابيك اللي فوق نزلوا علينا أنا ومرتي وبنتي على التخت على نفس التخت يعني لحظات ناطر بس توقع فينا البناية هيدا كله مش مهم فدا اجر الشباب اللي عم يحاربوا وعم يواجهوا بالخيام بهالمناطق الحدودية كلها فدا اجرهم نحن مع المقاومة لآخر نفس نحن عن هالخط ما منزيح لو شو ما عملوا نحن عالم ما بنحب يعني شعب ما بنحب الحرب بس هي إسرائيل بطبيعتها كل 10 سنين 20 سنة بتفتري على جيرانها كلهم نحن شعوب مسالمة هن كيان غاصب اجوا زرعوا لنا اياه بمنطقة غلط.
On November 26th, Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire, which was implemented at 4 a.m. the following morning. In the days before the agreement was signed, the conflict intensified. Hezbollah launched many of its long-range missiles at central Israel, many of which were shot down by Israeli air defense. Meanwhile, in Beirut, the Israeli airstrikes showered down across the city, hitting areas with no significant Hezbollah presence. We witnessed a brutal level of bombardment from the Israeli Air Force in those final 24 hours.
Let's go, guys, come on. Ali. Okay, let's go.
As the Israeli military issued evacuation orders, gunshots rang out across the city, an additional warning from Hezbollah to leave the area. The next morning, thousands of refugees poured back into the southern suburbs of Beirut. Many of them are returning for the first time in months and didn't yet know if their homes had survived the conflict.
عارفين هاي الفاتوره بتكلفنا، وهذا اللي شايفينه انتم دمار، هيدا نحن شايفينه عز وسجود لله. هيدا منه دمار، هيدا عز وفخر لنا ونصر.
Actually, look, this is my gym. I'm so sad when I see here. I used to, since 5 years, it's my gym. And I'm so sad. I'm so sad about everything. If you see the building, look here. All of this, the neighbors, I know them.
نحن كنا بالاول هيك على زعل، كيف على زعل؟ لانه فقدنا كل اصحابنا واخواتنا واولاد منطقتنا. شفنا الجامعه الحلوه كلها، هلا فرفشنا.
لك عيش.
لك عيش. يعني ما بعرف.
حلو يا ابو حبيب، عيش.
We got a call from the burn specialist at the hospital. Baby Ivana would finally be released home with her mother.
والله اليوم أحلى أسعد يوم هو اليوم عن جد، يعني من بعد شهرين لليوم، يعني اليوم غير كل الأيام، واليوم ظاهرين يعني كأنه الواحد فتح عليك الحبس وقال لك اطلعي. الحمد لله، بفضل الله وفضل هالدكاترة كلهم. أنا كتير يعني ما بعرف شو بدي أقول. إيفانا؟
During the first phase of the ceasefire, both Hezbollah and Israel were expected to withdraw their forces from southern Lebanon. The Lebanese army would then move in and take over. On January 27th, the deadline expired and Israel still occupied large areas of southern Lebanon. Being an incredibly secretive organization, the extent of Hezbollah's presence in the area is unclear. This conflict has been absolutely devastating for Hezbollah and for the more than 1 million Lebanese Shia who live in areas under their de facto control. For now, the ceasefire is mostly holding, but with Israeli forces still occupying southern Lebanon and with Hezbollah beginning to rearm itself, a long-term peace remains unlikely.